Welcome everyone to the Sibikwa Arts Centre in Benoni, Gauteng. What we're going to see today is the summative assessment of these learners who have participated in a short skills course on dance and drama. This has been part of a capacity building exercise that has been sponsored by the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. The young people hail from 4 provinces: Northern Cape, Free State, Limpopo and Mpumalanga, and they have been here at Sibikwa for several weeks. Because of COVID, some of their learning has to have taken place long distance, which has been trying for them. As you know, the performing arts learning needs that interactive touch. So please have a look at what these young people have achieved in such a short space of time.
It's a South African production by the legendary veteran in the arts, Sibikwa DAC, titled You Fool, How Can the Sky Fall? It's very satirical, it's got a very surrealist take on it, and it's very European as well in style. So Mda has got a theory and a school of play, which is Mdadeism, and he really investigates the ideas of what it means for a post-revolutionary government to come into running the country. Are they benefiting, or are the people of the country benefiting? And he also really plays between the juxtaposition of the South African dream and the South African reality, and what it means for both. Do they exist, and what are the anticipations between, or rather from, the citizens of South Africa?
And how has it worked out working with young people from the Free State?
It's been lovely. What I've realized that they're quite open-minded, because they came here from Free State and they have their own methods and their own theories that they've learned. And so they got here and I really threw them in the deep end with this surrealist art movement. And they were really curious about what it meant to play in that way, and also what satire meant as well. And I think we had a really good time exploring those different themes within the play.
Ladies and gentlemen of the cabinet, boys and girls, this meeting is called to order. Make way, make way. Here's the Supreme Commander, the one and only, His Excellency, the Wise One, Father of the Nation, Mr. President!
The Honorable the General has now called this meeting to order. We shall now proceed with the special business of the day.
Do we form a quorum, sir?
You always ask that.
I'm a stickler for procedure, that is why.
Okay. Introduce yourselves by your portfolios then.
Honorable the Minister of Health. Honorable the Minister of Health, sir.
The Honorable the Minister of Agriculture said.
The Honorable the Minister of Justice said.
The Honorable the Minister of Health said.
Is that all?
Obviously, we don't form a quorum. A lot of other honorable members are absent.
Has that ever stopped us?
It's a high time that we follow a proper procedure.
Procedure? Eh? Only because you know that the father of our nation will be discussing my daughter's wedding. You don't want this meeting to go on, eh?
No need to quarrel about this. We all know that when the wise one is here, it is a quarrel, even if it's just alone.
Now that we have dealt with that little matter, we shall proceed with the special meeting. As you all know, our colleague's daughter is getting married in a period of a week. And I take this opportunity of inviting all of you to come to the wedding. I have already given the necessary instructions to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting with regards, of course, to the programs of the content for the period of 1 week.
But say, Your Excellency, if all the news in all the media for a whole week is about nothing but the wedding, surely there won't be enough news to fill in all the time slots. Radio, for instance, broadcasting for 24 hours
She's
a day.
bent on destroying you, my friend.
She's such a nasty son of a bitch.
I do not want to see any of you being devoured by envy or jealousy. You have all served your government well. You have all served your people well. From the glorious days of our revolution until our victory when we marched into the capital and took over the government. You did not falter. You remained loyal and faithful. Right up until this very moment. This is not a favor that I am doing for my friend, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture. It is a reward for his long and loyal service. I would do this for any of you, if you had a daughter who was getting married.
I am sorry if I sounded envious or jealous, Your Excellency. But I was only wondering where the news will come from to fill in all the time. I also admit that it is due to my ignorance to the field of broadcasting. Perhaps, if the Minister of Information and Broadcasting was here, he'd be able to help me.
Where does she get the girl to talk to the wise one like that?
She's one stubborn son of a bitch.
We have qualified people who can create news. That is not our problem. They can handle that. They can give us news on the groom, his life story, his achievements. They can even interview his teachers from grade 1 right up until college. And the same can be done for the bride as well. Right there, you have news that will last you for up until 3 days. Then you can interview the designer who was brought in to come design the bridal gown.
The wise one is so wise.
And of course, I am told that he is a famous designer who has designed for film stars and first ladies of all over the world. That little detail must be highlighted in all the news bulletins. In the music program, only wedding songs shall be played. You see, you can never run out of wedding material.
Oh, Ina! Usandicho. Kosi yamakhosi. Yanga ungakhula undlondlobale iminyaka ngeminyaka. The father of our nation, my family, will forever be grateful.
And the general must see to the implementation of this decree. He must see to it that every citizen in the land is in a happy wedding joy mood. The general must ensure that the topic of the day is centered on the wedding of the decade. In discos and in nightclubs, the people must be dancing to wedding marches.
Of the decade, say, what if one of the cabinet members has a daughter who's getting married within the next 10 years? You can't give the Minister of Agriculture the whole of the decade. Perhaps, wedding of the year, yes, but of the decade?
Joy, what a bitch son of a bitch.
The general must also ensure that the Ministry of Works paves the road to our colleague's house, and that they do a good job at it. The road to the groom's house too. Speaking of which, have any either of you heard from the Ministry of Works yet?
No one said, since they took him out.
They took him and never put him back, sir.
Oh, what a guy!
But indeed, we've lost a great man.
Ke na le tshepo ya hore ka le leng la matsatsi ba tla mo kgutlisa.
And what if they have killed him?
Wena he ha ke makale hore o ka nahana jwalo kapa jwang. Mohlomong ke tabatabelo ya hao ha o jwang.
Chobumkhaya, Mr. Sam, you know that when they take you in the morning, they bring you back in the evening. They never take you for days on end.
Wena he o se ke ba wa leka wa mphisa moratuwa wa hao. He's not dead. He's alive. You just wish him dead. Since o kutlwa ke ke o ya phela monna eo.
And why would we wish him dead? We all admire him. We all owe our wealth to his resourcefulness.
He was a very clever one, wasn't he?
Oh yes! What a guy!
What a guy. You never gave him the time of the day when he was here.
But indeed, he was very resourceful. Has always been like that. Even during the revolution, and when we came into power and took over the government, I just had to make him Minister of Works.
The best. The very best. Remember when the Pope visited our country?
You can't forget that one.
A private joke, gentlemen? About the Holy Father.
Not about the Pope, eh? About the road.
The dead road that leads to the race course, where the Pope addressed the multitude.
Dirt road. There is no dirt road there. I was in the Pope mobile with the Pope, and that road was tarred.
Exactly what you mean about the cleverness of the Honorable, the Minister of Works. When you announced that the Pontiff was paying us a holy visit, there was no time, no money to tar the road that leads to the racecourse. And the racecourse was the only open field that could accommodate the multitudes that were coming there to see the Holy Father.
And so how was it tarred then?
It was never tarred, sir. It was just painted black.
And named after the Pope, sir.
Ha pula e nelele, e tlositse le pente eo e ntsho kaofela. Ya pula le difoo. There is no holes there, and no one has ever told you about this. And the Pope, poor fellow, I'm sure he's sitting over the Vatican boasting to his friends. Guess what, guys? I have a road in that country. My own road. Named after me. And he doesn't know.
Now, don't you try to wash yourself. You are a part of the cabinet's decision to hate that road.
And why was I not informed of that decision?
We know that the mind of the wise one is always occupied with heavy matters of the state. We didn't want to bother you with petty fears about the roads while we had a genius, like the Minister of Works, to handle it.
Oh, what a guy!
I find that so irritating. Nothing like that.
Don't tell me you are jealous of a man who's not even here, my friend.
She's just playing hard to get. They always do that in the beginning. I ask you about your Mr. who is now dead. I'll get her.
He's not dead. And when you are not a man enough to get me. You don't have whatever it takes, and I'm sure I've lived through it all.
Oh well, at least the Pontiff was happy with the road, along with the beautiful houses too.
There are no houses, sir.
Huh? Of course there are houses. On both sides of the road. Lovely double-storied houses in sunny colors.
Again, the brilliant works of the Honorable, the Minister of Works.
What you and the Holy Father saw were just fronts of houses. The same kind of thing that they use when they shoot movies.
Film set, made of masonry boards.
And the people? Surely there were people who were waving at me and the Pope.
On the windows, yes, there were people waving at me. Others were just standing on a pile of garbage behind that masonry board. Children waving flags, sweet old ladies waving rosaries.
We could not find more children or old ladies to stand in all the windows. It was a very hot day, and not everyone was keen to sacrifice. Even the one we used, we had to offer them something in return.
Whatever happened to was not what your country will do for.
I'm devastated.
We didn't want to bother you with the mundane things, sir.
And all this time I thought it was a new housing project. There were apartments, there were flats and stores. But I always wondered how I got left out of the percentage negotiations with the contractors. And why my bank balance hasn't been unexpectedly bulging. I should have known. He would have never imagined of leaving the person who created him out of the bribe for contract negotiations. Indeed, he was a brilliant man, wasn't he?
Oh, what a guy!
But maybe when the Minister of Culture returns, he will have news on him for us.
That sniveling son of a bitch. He's the one they should be keeping, not the Minister of Works.
You hate him, don't you? Because he's refined, cultured, sensitive, and loving.
He's a whining bastard. That's what he is. He's not a man. Why you keep paying so much attention to him, I'd never understand.
Maybe she wants to make you jealous, my friend.
Yes, you are right. Maybe she wants me as much as I want her.
Hey, you know what? You are a joke of a man. I'm not even sure how you have it.
I want you. Is that too much to ask?
You want every little step that passes by here?
Isn't that what women are made for? To want it.
What did they do to you?
Whoa, they gave him the works. They really did.
Ask him if he had anything about the Minister of Works.
Is that all you can think about? Can't you see what they have done to him here?
He is alive, isn't he? They took the Minister of Works and never returned him. Shouldn't I be concerned?
Don't worry. You are back among friends.
Today is the day they are not going to give us any food.
Poor fellow. He's delusional.
Seriously, I heard them say so. And you know that I love you. But I cannot afford to love anyone now. Not after the way they handled me. Not even capable of loving you, my beautiful princess.
And soon he'll be fawning over you like a puppy he is.
All I'm worried about is if he betrayed the cause of it. Anything is possible with him. He's weak.
Did you betray the cause?
What do you take me for, man? Of course not.
They could have taken him and bathed him in May and showered him with the gifts of precious stones. That's what they do to those who betray the cause. In any case, whatever you think of him, he's always been our loyal member, in spite of suffering many insults from the likes of you.
But for sure, there's a traitor among us.
Are you sure?
And how do you know?
At the interrogation, they came up with things that were to be known by only us.
I mean, they know everything. The only thing that was left was for me to confirm whether it's true or not.
And did you confirm?
I denied, man. I denied everything. In spite of the torture, I did not betray the cause.
You see, I've told you.
They couldn't break me. They will never break me. Do you hear that? You, righteous guardians of our stomachs, and you, my learned friend, I was there with them, but they could never break me.
Tell me, what was today's specialty?
A combination of things, my friend. They threw me around and kicked me like a ball in a game of football or rugby. They even scored with me quite a few times. Mind you, you are naked when they're doing all that.
Is this something new? This football game?
They are known to do that sometimes.
They kept me standing for quite too long, until my eyes began to pop. I stood naked for the whole day, and at intervals, they spit at me. Everyone, even the children, they showered me with saliva and phlegm, and they sat all around me and held me with all sorts of insults and verbal abuse. And when that failed to break me, they threw pieces at me.
So now it's feces. It used to be mud.
How do you know? They haven't called you yet?
I have studied their methods, my friend. That is what a good minister of justice will do. Take a deep study of torture method. You'll never know when they will come in handy.
It was mud, Helen. But now it's definitely feces. Botona baka, babuhula ka tang. Itse ha ke tswa madi, ba pitsa dintja tsa bone di tlo leka madi mmeleng wa ka.
O se kgathatsehe. This nightmare will be over. We'll all go home and be happy again.
Nka se rate hape. Go satsana ene. Batho ba ntlontlollotse. They stuck up a rod in my anus while giving me electric shock. They kicked and punched me. They even pushed needles under my neck.
Wa tseba hore ke bophelo bo bohloko ba moetapele. Bophelo bo o itela lotontolo. Bophelo ba bohloko le masisapelo. Batho ba rona ba e bare morena ke kgetsi ya masela. Jwalo ka rona ba etapele ke a tlatselletsa. Ke mathata a rona. Rona ba buwa ba batho. Hore re thola ka mathi, re tlontlolwe, re hlaselwe mane Market Square. O tla lebala ka seo. Kaofela ha rona re tla lebala. Re tla boela re rate hape. Empa ha o se jwalo, hopola ya hlalefileng. Ke monna ya mosa haholo. Pelo ya hae e kgapatseha ke lerato. O na le bokgoni ba hore rata kaofela. Mme seo re tlamehile re se etse ke hore re dulelle morao. Mme re mo fe sebaka. A re ratele.
Black man patile!